So Dan, a little while ago, I guess earlier today, actually, as we record this on the 31st, January 31st.
Yep.
There was a KDE Ask Me Anything over on their Lemmy specifically. They have a KDE Lemmy instance where all of this cool stuff happens.
It's cool, though. I love the fact that Lemmy is getting used for this type of thing. And the KDE developers are willing to jump in there. And you can ask them anything.
Literally anything.
I know.
I don't know if my questions were good, but I asked questions.
I think they were on point.
Yes, because we have recently been trying out KDE Plasma 6 RC1, and we got the recommendation to do it on Rawhide. So we've been over in Fedora land getting the fire hose to the face of updates, which happen almost every single day.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought I'd ask the KDE developers themselves, what's the best or recommended way to test out Plasma 6 RC2? And they said,
Neon testing in a VM or on bare metal if you're adventurous. Arch with the KDE unstable repo is good too, but that also includes a snapshot of the unreleased Qt 6.7, which introduces more bugs.
Yeah, and I guess if you're really trying to do all the bug reports and do all the hunting and stuff like that, that's the place to do it.
It could be. Yeah, it's probably a bit overwhelming, but someone needs to jump in there and get it done, I suppose.
Yep.
And so, we did some testing beyond just the Rawhide thing, though, too. I did Neon for a little bit and tested it out there. I think the Plasma, it was pretty uneventful for me, honestly. It just worked, which is a good thing. It was really enjoyable. I think having other distros to test it in as well is a good plan, because the way applications can interact and the different versions and whatnot, depending on how you install them, makes a difference, right? So, if you're installing a Flatpak, as an example, the way the portals work potentially could be different rather than just a native package. So I think testing multiple different things in multiple different ways is probably really beneficial to the overall QA process.
Yeah, and I believe it was Nate that was answering these questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I think before it's all said and done, I'm gonna have to try out Neon, but I haven't really had any problems with Fedora Rawhide, so I may actually just not do that because I'm getting the best of the best, and it's really been pretty good.
Yeah.
The issues that I've had, I just needed to wait a day or two, accept those updates, install those updates, and I've been good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, something that's going to change soon, possibly in 40, is Blur was not enabled for me, and I was very sad about that.
Right.
It's like my favorite feature, and it turns out that Fedora had turned that off because there were some bugs in some NVIDIA hardware, the Apple ARM graphics stack.
Yeah, the Apple, the Macs, yep.
And I think there were a couple of other graphics chips that did not like.
Yeah, they didn't behave well. Yeah.
Yeah, so that got turned off by default because
that's fair. It's eye candy.
Keep it safe,
right? Yeah.
Keep it safe and sane, and if you actually look, you're able to just turn it back on, which is what I did. I enjoyed the Blur way too much, and I'm on Intel and Radeon hardware, so
you were unaffected.
Usually,
yep.
Yeah. If you're able to run on Mesa, you're probably going to be just fine.
Right. So yeah, no, that was good.
And I asked one more. I said, just personally, I wanted to know, what has been the hardest problem to solve moving to Qt 6?
Personally, I'd have to say the large number of API and behavior changes in Qt Quick that Qt 6 brought. We use Qt Quick very heavily throughout KDE, so this has required a lot of mandatory porting work, more than in our Qt widgets-based software. And there have even been changes between Qt 6.5, 6.6, and 6.7. So it's still a bit of a moving target.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that that response was somewhat consistent. There was another one that was very similar to that also said Qt quick or the QML stuff is probably the hardest thing to keep up with.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. So that was interesting, and we've got a link in the show notes for all the rest of the questions I got asked over there on the AMA. I'll see if I can't dig up the Reddit one as well, because I know that there are going to be similar questions over there, but, some questions that didn't make it over to the Lemmy side as well. So really cool reading, really interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I just want to thank the KDE developers for taking the time to answer the questions, from all of the users. I think that's fantastic. I think it's just great community, work right there.
Absolutely. Find all the links at linuxuserspace.show. And, of course, if you want to get your email onto the show, even if we truncate it a little bit so that we can fit it in and not have a 6-hour show, because believe me, if Dan doesn't stop me, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Just thank
Dan. I don't know that I'm much better.
Thank Dan for not letting this go 6 hours. I'm just telling you.
No, but I just let him off the chain and I let him go.
I mean, hey, listen. Sometimes. But if you want to email the show, contact at linuxuserspace.show. You can do that directly, or you can head over to linuxuserspace.show and click on the little contact link and stick your email in there so that I can send you a response back. But either way, however you send a comment into the show, whether that's over YouTube, whether that's over TILvids, there was a comment on the TILvids video that I want to talk about next topic episode. So even if I don't get to it, or if we don't get to it on the next episode after you sent it, we're going to get to it. Trust me.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the emails. Yeah, we'll get through it. I do read those, guys. It's just, it's nice. It's a good place to consolidate feedback.
Absolutely. Can't lose it that way.